So welcome everybody, and tonight we have GT Sports rounds 7 and 8 for FTRL. Tonight it is Brazil and Sardegna A. So this is the qualifying session for Brazil, and then we'll go into a half an hour race around Brazil, and then it'll be a reverse grid from the results of the first race for the second race. So currently we'll go on board with blue flag we'll start with. He's just come around to complete his first proper lap. We'll see what time he does. So he does a 1:32.1, but the fastest at the moment is Simmel on a 1:31.6 at the moment. And then we've got Sweeney in second in a 1:31.7. Pagani 3 times back. Then blue flag, Peatman, Panda and Donzo at the moment. So go on board with Panda at the moment. See, he is in the dairy milk car for this evening. Got to admit, I'm a big fan of the colour. It's much better than the Snickers one, which was horrible looking. Good evening to everybody in the chat, Junkie Sport and Goy. So Froome's on a lap at the moment. He's just coming round the final corner for the long uphill straight. He had a good race last week. Pretty sure he won. Pretty sure you're on the second. I think it was the first and the second actually. I think he'd won both of them if I remember right. So Flying Frome is in the lead at the moment on a 1:31.2. SPY is a 10th back. He had a good few races last week. So did Simmel in fairness. Sweeney is 4th place, Pagani is 5th, and Blue Flag is 6th. SPY is currently on a lap. He's just at the middle sector part. He's just coming into the fast left-hander before the straight. That can be quite a tricky corner because you never really know how much you need to lift off for it, so you can easily run wide there. He's just coming up at the straight at the moment. I think he's a 10th down in his time, so might not be an improvement, or could be fairly close to being an improvement. That's a shocking camera. Oh, it's actually just went pits. I was wondering what the siren was. You can tell I'm not massively familiar with this game still. In fairness though, I'm getting more used to it. Apparently Junkie Sport said they get nearly killed by a seal in the chat. That's never good. I'm not gonna lie, that's never a good sign when you nearly get killed by a seal. So Pagani's on a lap. He's just coming through the first few corners now. He's onto the straight, the end of sector 1. I think he's actually quite a bit down in his... Oh no, no, he's 2.5 temps up, so he is. That first sector. So stick on board with Pagani at the moment. See if he keeps it smooth through. This is quite a tricky corner here. Very easy to run wide. Very easy. Actually, I've done a few laps around here in GT Sport. It can be quite tricky, that corner. got a little bit of a slide there on the curb, but he's avoided it perfectly fine. Still, he's kept it fairly clean. There's a couple of slidey moments, but so far so good for this lap. He's just under half a tenth up, so if he gets a smooth exit, which he does do, and he should be quite good. Quite a few faster times at the moment. Blue Flag just improved a 31.6 and Panda's in a 31.8. We'll have a little look after seeing this lap. So Pagani 31.3, that's a very good lap. He's improved in his final sector by quite a large amount there. So that's put Pagani within half a tenth of Flying Chroma at the moment on a 31.3. 31.4 is SPY just behind. Blue Flag's improved to 4th place. Then we get Simmel, Sweeney, Panda just recently improved to 7th place, and Peatman, Duo Finn and Donzo is the final car. We might see a couple of fast times. We've got 3 minutes left of qualifying and then we'll get into the race. Hopefully we'll get an interesting race this evening. Got to admit, the last race we had last week was a very good race. There was a lot of battles. Brazil usually is quite a fun track to drive. Not sure who particularly enjoys it. I know Pagani's not a massive fan of it, but Pagani's really good at GT Sport, so even if he is one of his not so favourite tracks, he'll still be up there, no doubt about that. So someone is wondering where's Aaron. So Aaron's just having a little break from FTRL at the moment. Hopefully he'll be back at some point soon. But we've still got a grid of 10 tonight. So hopefully it's enough to have a good race. The front runners are here as always, so we should be in for a good race. Flying Foam is just coming down the street at the end of the sector. And he's quite a bit down on his time, so we'll go on board with SBY currently. How's his time looking at the moment? Go on board and we'll see how the end of his lap unfolds. So far it's looked quite smooth from what I've seen so far. We'll see his sector time, so he's quite a bit down as well. Blue Flag's on an out lap at the moment. Simmel seems to be on the lap now, so we'll go over him. It's a very nice design on the Merc there. I'm a big fan of that. Sweeney's is in the Porsche for this evening. Getting a little bit of a slipstream from Frome. It's not as powerful as things like F1. Flying Chrome's just set a much faster time while we're here. Simmel improves his time, so currently Flying Chrome has improved his time, so he's up to 30.7 now, which is an amazing time. He's near enough 6 times clear of Pagani. SPR is just behind him. Simmel in 4th, Blue Flag 5th, Sweeney 6th, Panda's in 7th, Donzo 8th. Actually, Donzo, Juho Finn's just jumped up to 8th while we're talking about that. That puts Donzo into 9th and Peatman rounds out the top 10. Though, as always with Brazil, he's only 1.3 seconds off the front of the grid, so as what usually happens around about Brazil, it's usually very close. So qualifying's finished, so everyone will get to complete their final laps. Just as I say that, that was Peatman, yeah it was. So Peatman's just had a little bit of a spin in front of Pagani. Don't think it put him off too much. Hopefully not. He's just coming around to the final corner. I'm not sure he's actually improving on his time at the moment. SBY just comes over the line, he doesn't improve his time. The yellow flag's out, that's because Peatman had that incident. Frome's not improving his time. Pagani isn't improving his time either. Blue flag's just coming round to the final corner now, just on the straight. Panda's improved his time, I don't think he's up to 6th now. And blue flag doesn't improve his time. So unless, I think that might be it. Juhofin's just coming across the line now. That's not improved his time either. I think that is it. Yeah. Yep. So that is qualifying done, so we'll just go for a wee run through. So flying from is P1 with quite a big gap to Pagani. Pagani P2, I think he'll be fairly happy with that though. SBY P3 and as usual it jumps. Simmel P4, blue flag P5. So here comes the race. Panda's P6, Sweeney's P7, Juhofin's 8th, Donzel's 9th and Peatman is 10th. So as always, got a terrible camera angle. Hopefully we have a slightly better one. Okay, lights out and away we go for the first race of the evening. Flying Frome seems to have got a great exit out of... a great start, sorry. Oh, we've got a big slide on now which has allowed Pagani to close up on him though. He might try and make a move down the outside. Just following this at the moment. Pagani's on the outside, Flying Frome's on the inside. Flying Frome should have it unless Pagani goes for a bit of a bold move. I think Flying Frome's just about still in the lead there. Sweeney's still in P3. Blue flag is having a bit of a battle with Juhovin. Juhovin is... I'm pretty sure he started 8th, which is a... Oh, speaking of... Oh, Juhovin just had a massive slide throughout that tricky right-hander, which is allowed Blue flag to try and dive down the inside. That must have gone by quite a bit there. Blue flag, that was... Got to admit. Blue flag, sorry, Panda's in P6, just behind Juhovin. We've got Simmel, P7, oh, we've got a penalty already, so is Donzo. Peatman's in P9 and SBY's had a bit of an issue, he's down to P10. So, out in front at the moment. It's still Flying Frome. Pagani's not far behind him though. I don't think he's close enough to make a move down into turn 1 at the moment. Oh, Pagani's just got a better exit than Flying Frome for that bit, and once again he's going to have the run down into turn 4, I think that is, turn 4, yeah. Might be a little bit far back, though he's tried to brake a little bit later, but Flying Frome's got that. Quite a difficult place to overtake that, because if you're on the outside it's quite difficult, because it's a bit tricky to try and hold it around the outside. Blue flag is up to P3 at the moment, which is a good start by him. Sweeney in the Porsche though is up the inside, he's going to get that, so Sweeney's regains, puts himself up to P3. Juhovin, after his earlier slide, is down to P5 after Blue flag overtook him. Blue flag's just behind Sweeney at the moment. Start to spread out a little bit more. There's a bit of a gap developing from the top two, similar to what happened last week. I think he's a little bit far back though to make a move, to be honest. I don't think he'll be making a move down the inside. Though actually he's just went to the outside. He has actually got a run on him. Why is it showing me a terrible camera angle? And he's going down the inside of turn 3. He's got that move done, but I don't know. Sweeney will get the run down into turn 4. Might regain position. Oh, I think he might hold back. Actually, maybe trying a little bit of a move, but he's. Oh, we seem to have ghosted. That's fine. We're back. Blue flag is MP3 then. Sweeney's just behind. Has allowed Duo Finn to close back up. Then Panda and the distinctive Cadbury car is behind in P6. So this is Flying Foam's getting away a little bit from Pagani at the moment, so we'll stick with the P3 battle at the moment. Keep an eye on what's going on there. Just coming round to the final corner for the uphill straight. I think Blue Flag might have big enough gap, though he has. Actually, they both get a little tiny penalty, so I think that'll affect things too much. Out in front, Pagani is dropping back ever so slightly from he's still within distance though, he's under a second, but there's quite a big gap now, 4.4 seconds behind. Have a little look at the gaps, see if there's anyone else. Donzo's quite close to the back of the Simmel. Have a look at that. Donzo's actually got quite a big penalty at the moment. What's the yellow flag? Oh, I think it's Panda. What's happened to Panda? Panda was in 6th, he's now dropped into 8th. I think Panda's had a little bit of a moment at the end of sector 1, possibly in the right-hander. Sorry, right-hander? Left-hander, sorry, at the end of sector 1. Blue flag still in 3rd place at the moment. Sweeney's just behind in 4th. And then Jofin's a little bit further back in 5th. So a little bit more gaps developing now. We'll stick on board with this battle for 6th place at the moment between Simmel and Donzo. Simmel in the Merc, Donzo in the Porsche. He is closing up, but I'm not sure he's close enough to make a move, Donzo. Wouldn't say so. A little bit too far back to make a move. Just going to stick behind. We'll keep an eye on this battle at the moment. We'll see if he's able to make a move, possibly down into the next straight. He's got a slightly better exit with the looks of it there actually. He has closed up a little bit. Still not sure it's close enough though to make a move down the inside. No, he just sits behind. Sensible. No point running your race. Trying an audacious move. So Blue Flag still in 3rd place. He's kind of moved away from Sweeney. He's slightly closed up gap up to Pagani. Actually, I don't know if Pagani's had a little bit of a mistake. As the gap to Frome is now increased to 2.4, so I imagine he's made a little bit of an error somewhere. But he's 4 seconds ahead of Blue Flag, who is just over a second away from Sweeney. So Blue Flag is beginning to move away. Could be seeing a pit stop in a probably about 6 laps time. Probably about lap 11 possibly. Maybe a little bit earlier or later depending. Blue Flag's had a little bit of a bad lap actually, and it's allowed Sweeney to catch back up to the back of him. He went a bit wide there at turn 1, so allowed Sweeney to close up even further. He's within 2 attempts, so he might be able to make a move. Still just a little bit far back, just needed to be an extra 10 for 2. Oh, just to say that, good timing. Donzo has just got past Simo down the inside. He's still right close behind though, so I don't know if Simo might try and make a move back at him. Up down the tricky, fast right-hander. Just sits behind. Panda's in P8, I think he had a little bit of an incident earlier on. I think he's at the moment. Blue Flag's now being pressured. Oh, actually Sweeney's just got past Blue Flag. Blue Flag must have made a mistake. That second sector somewhere. Sweeney's back up ahead of Blue Flag. Sweeney's got a second penalty, so that will allow Blue Flag to re-overtake him. Duho Finn is just half a second back, and there's a little bit of a gap to Donzo behind him. The tyres are actually starting to go off a little bit quicker now as Blue Flag re-overtakes Sweeney. Pagani's actually went into the pits, it's a bit early, but maybe that is when best time is to come in. So Pagani's come out in P8, we'll stick with this battle at the moment though, as Blue Flag is just ahead of Sweeney. I think Sweeney's close enough. He's tried to move down the inside and tapped Blue Flag. A little bit late there. Going down to the tricky right-hander, side by side, might allow Duho Finn to close up a bit as well. Blue Flag still in second place. The Porsche behind him, it's in P3. Duho Finn just behind in the Merc as well. So he's got a little bit of a time penalty that might be for the touch. So Pagani is up to 7th now. He's got a 1.7 second penalty though. At the moment. Blue Flag is still being followed by the Sweeney and Duho Finn just behind him. I wonder if any of these will come into the pits anytime soon. I'll stick it out at the moment. They will be coming in very shortly though, it'll be a couple of laps time most likely. As Donzo pits, he'll probably come out near the back of the grid I think. Sweeney has got us right behind the back of Blue Flag at the moment. Sweeney's actually just overtook Blue Flag. This might allow Duho Finn to try and get an action as well. He backs out a little bit. I think Sweeney's took the inside line now. Duho Finn might actually try and get a move on Blue Flag. Quite a good battle going on here at the moment. Sweeney's just ahead of Blue Flag. Oh, there's a little bit of a twitch though going around the fast right-hander. Blue Flag's just behind though, he's fine. Just sitting behind at the moment. They're very closely matched on pace, these guys though, so I definitely don't think this will be the end of the battle. It's going to be going for quite a while. So just coming around to the final corner for the uphill straight. Got a little bit of a gap there, Sweeney, but he has got a half a second penalty, so I'm not entirely sure where that's going to come off, so that will probably allow Blue Flag to catch back up. I think it's actually coming off at the moment with Blue Flag's catching quite quickly. Going to try and hold it round the outside of turn 1. Sweeney, good defensive drive from Sweeney there, he's just covered that off. Blue Flag is right on the back of him though, so he might make a move. Ooh, just got slightly on the curve there, but he's looks like he's a little bit faster down the straight at the moment, and he's pulled to the outside, get a good camera angle, and he brakes later as well. good racing. Duho Finn, that's allowed Duho Finn just to get right behind this battle as well. Blue flag is down the inside of Sweeney. He's got the move done. Duho Finn is just sit behind Sweeney. It's a very good battle going on here. Oh, blue flag went a little bit wide though, and Sweeney's right behind him again. I think this is actually, Pagani's not far behind this battle now either. So Simmel's not far behind this either. So this could be, unless the pit, this could be a four-way train very shortly. Blue flag gets a little bit wide out the exit there. It's allowed Sweeney to close up. That's so closely matched, these three at the moment. Might be a little bit far out. I'm not sure if Sweeney's going to try and make a move down the inside. Nope, he sits behind him. Blue flag gets a better run out of that corner than the previous laps. Might make him a little bit too far in front of Sweeney. Actually, he's got a little bit of a bad exit out of that corner. He's only a 10th behind now. Might try and make a move down the inside again. I've got to admit, this is probably not what Pagani wanted to come across. I can't imagine this is going to be an easy position to find himself in at the moment. Blue flag's just in front of Sweeney. Oh, Sweeney, I think he just nudged him slightly there. Blue flag a bit wide through that. That's allowed Sweeney to get side by side with him. Blue flag just maintains the position at the moment though. For the next corner, I think actually Pagani's just made a dive down the inside. He's actually just got past two cars. Like, what about Pagani's just got past two cars in one corner at the moment. Might get the move done on blue flag as well. Very shortly. Flying Frome's now in the pit lane. It'll be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Pagani, who is now overtook, because blue flag, Flying Frome, Sweeney, Simmel have all come in. The only one that didn't come out from that battle is Duho Finn, who's actually, as I just went on board him, ran very wide at the end of sector 1. That might be because he's had two people battling with him the entire time, so he's probably not used to being on his own around this track. So, as expected, so Pagani is ahead of Flying Frome at the moment. I'm not sure if Pagani's probably going to have to. Pagani will have to pit again probably. So we're just to see what happens with that at the end. So the battle at the moment between Duho Finn and Donzo and Flying Frome at the moment, who's on much fresher tyres. Duho Finn is with us because he made that mistake, which is going to allow blue flag and Sweeney to get a little bit of a gap to him most likely. Flying Frome is obviously much quicker at this point in time, but he's just sticking behind him at the moment. He might try and get him down to turn 1 after the uphill straight. Donzo's getting caught quite quickly by Flying Frome here. Flying Frome's going to make a move down the inside. He's into third place. Oh, he's actually just made a double overtake as well. He's just done a double overtake down the inside. Broke later. I managed to overtake Duho Finn at the same point. So that's a great move. He's up to P2. So he's done what Pagani did, and now he's got a 5-second gap which he can try and close down to Pagani. Donzo's trying to make a move down the inside of Duho Finn. Duho Finn is massively struggling at the moment. He's near enough no fuel, so he's going to have to come into the pits probably at the end of this lap, I'd imagine. Frome is just beginning to catch Pagani. He's only 4.4 seconds behind now, so not many close together battles at the moment. We're all a little bit more spread out at the moment, so keep an eye on the gap between Pagani and Frome. Frome is now beginning to catch Pagani quite quickly. Pagani's also got a 1.6 second penalty to add to his time before he took off at the end, which is also going to help Frome. So Pagani's in for his second stop and last stop, which is allowed the cars behind him to overtake him. Panda, Peatman and Juho Finn are all in the pit lane now. So we've got a bit of a range of strategy at the moment. Pagani's coming out in P3. So he's coming out in P3, so he's ahead of Blue Flag. And he's just behind Donzo. So as long as he catches Donzo, that puts him back up to P2, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with that gap to Flying Frome. It might be probably going to be too big a gap, to be honest. I can't imagine him being able to catch that. It's been a good race so far for Blue Flag, actually. A good race so far. He's in a net P3 at the moment because Donzo will have to pit at the end of this lap 100%. Donzo has no fuel, literally no fuel. He's got it. Probably run out of turn 1 if he didn't go into the pits now, so he will definitely be coming into the pit lane now. Juho Finn and Peatman quite close to the back of Juho Finn at the moment. That promotes Blue Flag back up to P3. Donzo's come out. Just see where Donzo come out in 2 seconds. Donzo's come out in P6, just behind Cyril, I believe. Yep, just behind Sim. So Pagani's got a 9-second gap to Frome to try and catch. Considering we've only got 8 minutes left of this race, I doubt they'll be able to catch up with Flying Frome. Sweeney's 1.7 seconds behind Blue Flag, so hopefully we might see a bit more of a battle between these two guys if Sweeney can catch up to the back of Blue Flag. Donzo's now right on the back of 7 after his pit stop. He's got a good exit out the final corner as well. A little bit far back though, so he's probably just going to sit behind at the moment. Simmel took a little bit of a wider line into turn 1 there, but oh, he's actually just made a little bit of a mistake there in turn 2, which allowed Donzo to overtake him for the main straight, and probably is going to hold that position. Yep, so Donzo's up to P5. The gap's come down very slightly at the top, but probably it's not going to be enough for Pagani to catch Flying Frome, unless Flying Frome has a bit of a mistake. The gap between Blue Flag and Sweeney's kind of staying the same at the moment, so most likely probably continuing. Sweeney's got a half a second penalty as well, which will be applied at the end of the race. see if there's any other close passes. So Pandas and PA at the moment, just behind Juho Finn. He's got a 2.2 second penalty as well. So at the moment, closest battle is probably between Blue Flag and Sweeney, which has actually come down to 1.2 seconds. So we'll keep an eye on this and see if the battle recommences between these two guys. Just over 6 minutes left of this race, plus the final lap that they're on. Just 1.3 seconds behind, but it's kind of staying the same at the moment, so we'll go on board. Donzo's caught up to the back of Simmel's caught up to the back of Donzo again, so it doesn't look like Donzo's getting away from Simmel. Juho Finn is just back from this. He pitted not too long ago. Oh, he took a very wide line, mind you, into that corner. Definitely not the fastest way to go around that corner, I'm sure of that. There's much faster ways to go around it. Anyway, it's about 7.5 tenths behind. Simmel at the moment is Juho Finn. Donzo got away from Simmel now, so keep an eye on see if Juho Finn can possibly make a move. He's actually setting his personal bests at the moment, so obviously he's got a lot of pace. He was higher up in the field but made a little bit of a mistake just before he went to the pit lane. So I probably would expect him to get past Simmel quite quickly, probably down in turn 1 possibly. He's beginning to close up quite quickly. He's going to take the outside line for turn 1. Simmel has the inside line. Jovan will try and get a better exit out of turn 2, which he does do. Then he'll try for the inside line for the straight. They're side by side at the moment. Juho Finn, I think, has got that move sealed even before the corner actually. So that promotes Juho Finn up into 6th place at the moment. Actually he's just run quite wide there. It might allow Simmel to get a run on him down into the fast right-hander. He's just sticking behind at the moment. Panda's not actually that far back from this either. Keep an eye and see if he can make a move at any point, if he can close up the back of them. Juho Finn's now beginning to get away again. The battle for P3 has resumed. Blue Flag and Sweeney are still very close to the back of each other. Blue Flag's not got much fuel left. He's definitely cutting it fine, I'd say, for the rest of this race. Though Sweeney's got a lot more tyre wear actually than Blue Flag, so it might offset the difference between them. So we'll keep an eye and see who will get the final podium place. As I've seen, these two guys are very closely matched on pace, so I wouldn't be surprised it'd be pretty easy to get an overtake done. So this could be quite a long battle, I'd imagine. And obviously Sweeney's got that slight penalty as well, which is down to 4 times. That'll get added on at the end of the race, most likely. So we just over 2 minutes left. Blue Flag's got about a gap of a second. Pagani's not closing up on From, so it looks unless there's any issues, the front two are going to stay as they are. Gap's about 9 tenths now, just going on to that pile straight. blue flag's just keeping the gap now to about 9 tenths, so the closest battle we have at the moment. Keep an eye on the fuel of blue flag. Yes, fine, I would say. The thing is, he's probably gonna. I'd imagine these guys are actually gonna cross the line. They're gonna cross the line about a second before the start finish straight, which will mean they'll have to complete another lap. I think blue flag's actually kind of realised this. He's trying to slow Sweeney down a bit, I think, because at the moment it's not going to help blue flag's fuel. Cause blue flag's not got enough fuel to do another lap. So he's going to have to try and hope that. I don't see it though, unless they complete a 1:35, which I'm not sure if he's going to be able to slow him down that much, to be honest. Sweeney's catching the back of blue flag quite quickly now at the moment. He is trying to slow it down a little bit, I think, blue flag at the moment, just to try and cross the finish line, because he's not going to be able to complete another lap. And he knows that, I think. But they are going to complete another lap. I think. Yeah, he has. He's having to complete another lap, blue flag, and I don't think he's got enough fuel. I'd be amazed if blue flag will be able to keep that car with the amount of fuel he's got left. Be interesting to see, but I very much doubt it. He's got nothing left at the moment. So as we're saying this, we'll try and stick with this battle for third place at the moment. It's very, very tight. I imagine he's probably fuel saving as much as humanly possible at the moment. He's just coming round to the final sector shortly. Sweeney's closed up right to the back of him. He has got that full 10 penalty though, but if he runs out of fuel, then that's not going to make much difference at the end. So Flying Frome is just coming round to cross the finish line for the win. So congratulations to him, P1. Pagani is about to cross the line for P2. Sweeney's got past blue flag, but oh, blue flag's just ran out of fuel. Oh no. I was calling it from quite a while away. I thought that was going to happen. That's kind of gotten. Oh, that's a shame. So we'll get two of these guys in. Sure, a quick little chat before the second race. There's a little bit of a gap at the moment, so I might as well invite Flying Frome, and we'll invite blue flag just because it's a good result for a man who's ran out of fuel. So I've got to admit though, that was a very good fight for P3 that lasted pretty much all race. so it was very good going. Not sure if Flying From is joining. We did last week, so I'm not sure. Oh, there he is. So, congratulations on another win. It looked like quite probably an easier race than last week for you. You kind of just extended the gap quite quickly, and it kind of stayed the same for most of the race, and you increased it a bit. Yeah, he did. Yeah, were you alright for fuel on that race? Because we saw blue flag run out at the end. Yeah, yeah. So how are you looking for the next race then? Do you like the track or? It's that. It's that Mediterranean track. It's the Mediterranean track that's kind of boring, but anyway. Coolio. Well, good luck. Blue flag. If you watched the stream back, I was saying from about 7 laps from the finish that I thought you were going to run out of fuel by the end of the race. And then, but I noticed on the final lap that you had you were going to cross the line with a second to go. And I thought you were going to try and back him up as much as possible. Yeah. Yeah, you ran out with just like a tiny bit of the track to go. To be honest, I got him out with the final lap was going on. I don't know how you managed to keep the field that long, to be honest, because I thought you were going to run out in the middle sector. So you did well to try and last it that long, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think you had quite a good battle with Sweeney actually for quite a large part of that race. Yeah. If you watched the stream, you were kind of I couldn't really get away from that battle. Yeah, Pagani actually made a double. I think it was a double overtake he made on both of yous as you were coming around. I don't know if it was a double overtake or not, but I think there was 2 double overtakes in that race as well. So it'd been. I think it was 2 of the other ones. I think it definitely made an overtake to someone else. Yeah. Yeah. So next race, you're going to be starting near the back. So, well, 6th, I think you're going to be starting. 6th or 7th? 7th, actually. So, do you think you'll be able to move your way up a bit? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well. Yep. Well, good luck. Hope you have a good race. No problem. Yeah, cheers. So the race will be starting in about a minute or two time, so back in 1 or 2 minutes. So the race will be starting in, oh, it was a bit close there. So the race will be starting in, very, very shortly. And so the race winner will be starting from the back of the grid, and it'll be Pagani in 9th. We'll have Sweeney P8, Blue Flag P7. So for this track, it is Sardegna A. So it's quite a narrow track, this one. It's kind of like a street circuit kind of layout. So it'll be interesting to see how we go around here. Oh, let's go on board with Sweeney for one of his practice laps. I think he's a little bit sideways. Lap should be starting the race very, very shortly. Here we go. So on pole for this will be Cabell, because he finished. He didn't actually start the last race. So SPY will be P2, Peatman P3, Panda P4, Simmel's 5th, Donzo's 6th, Geofin 7th, Blue Flag 8, Sweeney 9, Gary 10th, and Boom, who won the last race, will be 11th. So as we just start, Cablo gets a good start. Simmel's actually had a good start as well. He's jumped up to P3 ahead of Panda. Cablo maintains his lead into the first corner. SPY is P2. Panda's actually trying to make a move around the outside of Simmel. So Panda's up to P3, Simmel's in P4. Blue flag is up to P5 already. Pagani's up to P6 from P10. Peatman's P7. Flying Throne's actually up to 8 as well. But a great start for Pagani there, up to P6. Oh, he's actually just got on the gravel there, and he's been pushed back. And Flying Throne's actually just overtook him as well. So after a good start, Pagani's actually back down into 7th. So a bit of a battle with Peatman there. I think they kind of touched a bit there. Oh, Donzo's went very wide, and he's down to P11 now. Panda's actually in the meantime got past Cablo. Cablo's had a bit of a mistake, so that's put SBY up to the lead. Panda's already up to P2 from starting P5, I believe. P4, P5. Pagani's back up to 6th. Flying Throne's up to 7th, and Blue Flag's up to 4th from the back already. So great start from the leaders of the last race. They've managed to get through the grid pretty quickly, and avoided most of the incidents in lap 1. So interesting to see how far they can climb. An eye on the battle for the lead at the moment as Panda's... Oh, actually, Blue Flag's trying to make a move on Simmel. Up to turn 1. He's on the outside. He's just about got the move done. Good move for Blue Flag. He's up to P3 already from P8 he started in, which is a great first few laps. Keep an eye on some of the battles further back. There's a bit of a battle going on for 6th, 7th, off the back of the grid at the moment. Flying Throne's person in 6th, who's managed to get past Cablo, who, after leading the race at the start, having an alright first lap. Oh, as Cablo's run very wide around there. And as you can see, it's quite a narrow track. This one at points, very street circuity at points, so it's one you have to, as Julian Palmer would say, you would have to be alert at street circuits. Wasn't the best callback. It's not as difficult as most street circuits though, so shouldn't be too many issues. Most of these guys are very familiar with GT Sport, particularly a lot of the front runners, so I don't think there'll be too many issues with the track, to be honest. Panda's still in P2 at the moment. Blue Flag's caught up to the back of him though. SPY is beginning to get away from Panda. Near enough 5 minutes gone in this race. And Pagani and Flying Throne are already up to 5th and 6th from 10th and 11th, so very good going by both of them. SBY looks very comfortable out in front though. He's got a bit of a gap now developing. Oh, bit close to the barriers there. Doing this slower than most people. I might have a couple of incidents this race. Some of the barriers. Blue Flag's beginning to close right up to the back of Panda. So Simmel's closing up quite a bit at the moment. Don't think it'll be too long before Blue Flag gets past Panda, as Panda actually has a massive wiggle through that corner there, just at the end of the lap for the straight. For the main straight. So Blue Flag is right over the back of Panda, who seems to be struggling now. I think he's actually going to make a move down the inside already. Yep, Blue Flag gets the move done into the final corner. Panda is really struggling. He's had another moment there. I think he's very comfortable at the moment with that car. So Blue Flag has now got clean air, and we'll keep an eye on the gap to SPY in front. Simmel is in P4, we'll see if he can make a move on Panda. Panda's actually trying to re-overtake blue flag. Blue flag's just sweep round the outside though, and that's allowed Simmel to get a move, try and get a move maybe on Panda, but Panda manages to hold him off for the time being. Pagani's in P5, who looks a little bit more comfortable than Frome at the moment, not gonna lie. Pagani looks a little bit quicker than Frome at this point. Frome seems to be, he's not far behind him, but I'd say Pagani looks a bit more comfortable at the moment in time. We'll see if Pagani can manage to dispatch the cars in front of him to try and chase after holding positions and maybe the win. So down the back end of the grid, Don's in P11, Olympian's P10, Cabell's P9, Joe Finn's P8 and Sweeney's P7, and then we've got a battle between Frome, Pagani and the front runners. So the gap's coming down ever so slightly between Blue Flag and SBY. It's down from 2.9 to 2.5. So see if it keeps closing down. I've got to admit, I think this is a battle. P3 is beginning to slow Pagani and Frome up a little bit at the moment. They're trying to wait for a gap at the moment, but as Panda goes very, very wide again out of that corner, final, the main straight. Pagani's right on the back of Simmel here as well. This could be possibly even be 3 wide cars within turn 1 at the moment. As Simmel tries to make a move down the inside of Panda into turn 1. Oh, he gives a little bit of a touch there. Panda tries to hold it round the outside, I think. He's managed to. Pagani and Frome are just behind us and getting interested. I think Frome is actually going to try and make a move down the inside of Pagani. No, Pagani holds him off. Frome is right on the back of Pagani now though as well. This is holding these guys up massively. The gap out front is now down to 1.9. But Panda in third place is beginning to hold up these guys behind them. Oh, as get very close to the barrier there. Got to admit they're all taking that corner quite aggressively. None of them seem to have any issues at the moment though. Panda's beginning to get away from Simmel a little bit in this lap. And so Panda has a very wide line at that corner and it's not helping him whatsoever. The gap's just come down 5 tenths and I think he's done it every lap so far. Panda's still in P3 just ahead of the guys behind him, Simmel, Pagani and Frome. Just taking a couple of the corners quite wide at the moment, Panda, so it's allowing Simmel to get very close up behind him. Or Simmel might try a move down the inside, but I think it's better of it. He's still taking quite a wide line there. That's compromised Simmel a bit there. They're all closing right up to the back. Pagani is so close to the back of Simmel now as well. But it's a street track though, there's not a lot of places to overtake and I think they're beginning to get a little bit frustrated now as the gap at the lead is now down to under a second from SBY to Blue Flag. We'll keep an eye on this 4-car train at the moment as I think Simmel's trying to make a move down the inside of Panda. Panda once again tries to hold it around the outside and has managed to maintain the position. Pagani is just sitting behind Simmel at the moment, but he's so much faster, you can just tell he's got so much more pace in that car. And so is Frome, so it's a very interesting race so far. It's quite a hectic race, particularly considering we've got only 11 cars this week, which is down a little bit in last week. They're certainly putting on a show considering. Semmel might try and make a move down the inside of Panda now. Yep. Semmel takes to the inside. Panda on the outside into turn 1. Semmel. Panda tries to hold it round the outside. Panda gets swamped. Pagani tries to overtake Semmel now at the back as well. Pagani's now side by side with Semmel into the next corner. Pagani's got the inside line, which has allowed him to overtake Semmel into P3 as well. So Pagani gets 2 overtakes done. Panda's dropped into P6. So now Pagani can try and chase after SPY, who actually has been overtook by Blue Flag for the lead. So Blue Flag is up into the lead of this race at the moment. Pagani's in P3, and we'll see a gap of 5.6 seconds, so we'll see if he can close that gap down. Semmel's trying to re-overtake him now. I think he's going to try and take it and make a move down the inside. Pagani tries to hold it round the outside. Gets that move done. I think Frome is going to make a move on Semmel. Frome's actually, due to that, got a move on Semmel as well. So Frome is now up to P4. So the front 2 from last race up to P3 and P4 after 7 laps of this race. So 12 minutes have gone in this race, so we're down to 18 minutes left. Blue Flag is currently in the lead from SPY. Pagani P3 with Frome just behind him. Then it's Semmel, Panda, Sweeney, Chuhofen, Donzo, Peatman, and rounded out at the back of the grid at the moment is Cabot. Fastest lap at the moment is by Blue Flag. We've had some clean air, but interesting to see though how Pagani can beat that. As Flying Frome is actually trying to make a move on Pagani. Pagani managed to hold it though down at turn 1. We'll see if Pagani can manage to close that gap to SPY. Blue Flag is stormed away from SPY though, and is looking very comfortable out front at the moment. Looks like Pagani's just slowly beginning to get away with Flying Frome from Semmel and Panda behind. I think Sweeney's actually beginning to catch up on Panda as well, so keep an eye on that gap. Frome's really close to the back of Pagani again now, just going round to the end of this lap. Just going round to the final corner very shortly. See if he can maybe get a move done down at the end of the main straight. So definitely looks like this race will be a simple 1 stop. Not going to be any 2 stops in this race by the looks of it. It's Flying Frome is right on back. Semmel just comes into the pits lane now. Pagani tries to hold the inside line. Flying Frome's going to take the outside line. Pagani's got the inside line. Frome is trying to do a bit of a switchback move, but sticks behind him at the moment. So Pagani's still in P3, and I don't think because of this, I don't think Pagani's gaining on SPY at the moment because of this battle. The gap out front is 2.3 seconds at the moment. I think Frome is trying to seek out a little bit of a move there, but I don't think there's anywhere to really overtake at that part of the track. Oh, Pagani's run very wide. He's allowed Frome to close up right behind him, but he's still got a little bit of a gap. Flying Foam is closing up on Pagani again. He's only a couple of attempts away at the moment. As they both come into the pit lane, as Blue Flag and SBY are actually in the pit lane as well. Panda's in as well. The only person that doesn't is Juho Finn, who takes the lead of the race because of that. Blue Flag just comes out of the pit lane now, a couple of seconds back from Juho Finn, about 7 seconds. Pagani comes out ahead of SBY, who put in more fuel. Flying Foam is a little bit behind as well, actually. I think Pagani's going to try some fuel saving. He's managed to get away from Flying Foam because of that. So interesting to see what happens there. Flying Foam is right on the back of Simmel. Flying Foam tries to go around the outside the next corner, brakes later, and I think he's got the move done around the outside. Good move by Flying Foam, and he's up to P5, so he can chase after SBY behind. Keep an eye on a little bit of a battle going on between Panda and Sweeney at the moment as well. Finn's just coming into the pit lane now, which promotes Blue Flag back up to P1. Pagani's back up, actually jumped SBY, so he's back up to, he's up to P2 now, because SBY fueled a little bit more. Panda's just got past Sweeney on the run down into turn 1. Good bit of Panda down the inside, so he's up into P7. He can chase after Juho Finn, who's just come out of the pit lane now. Flying Foam is back behind Simmel. So Flying Foam has made a little bit of a mistake somewhere. SBY is looking for a bit of a move on Pagani at the moment. Pagani's going to try and chase after Blue Flag. We'll keep an eye on the gap. It's 5.4 seconds. Need a lot to try and catch up that gap, I think. Just keep an eye on these two battles at the moment. Oh, we actually get side by side at the back here, so Flying Foam again on Simmel. I think that's actually the same area we overtook last time. Flying Foam around the outside. I think he gets the move done. Yeah, Flying Foam's up. Back up to P4 again, so Pagani is just maintaining the gap, I think, to Blue Flag. Yep. SBY still trying to get a little bit of an overtake done on Pagani. Juho Finn's had a little bit of an incident at the final corner, which has dropped him behind Sweeney and Panda. Panda's back behind Sweeney, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get him back down into turn 1 again. He's a little bit further back this time, so he's will have to sit behind unless he dives down the inside, which he does. Oh, both have a little bit of a wiggle though. Sweeney's maybe going to try and make a move. Panda maintains the position, so P6, Sweeney's in, P7 just behind him. See if Sweeney... Oh, a bit of a slide. So there's Panda in fairness. Panda's still in P6, so Sweeney just sits behind him at the moment. P7. Double check what's happening up in front. Oh, Pagani. Oh, something's happened to Pagani. He's down to P5 now. SBY moves back up to P2. Flying Foam's in third, and Simmel's behind P4. I don't know if there's been an accident between SBY and Pagani. SBY's in SBY's had a big moment, and that's allowed Simo and Pagani to get past them. So that's Pagani back up to P4 now. Flying Chrome is up to P2. He's now, Blue Fly's got a 7.7 second gap, so I think it's going to be quite difficult unless Blue Flag makes a mistake. He's in a very good position at the moment. Panda's back past Sweeney up into P6, but we need to keep an eye on this battle because Pagani's P3 at the moment. SBY's overtaking Simo, who might try and overtake Pagani as well into turn 1. Freeway fight at the moment. SBY, Simo thinks about a move on SBY but then backs out of it. At the end, so Pagani's back up into P3. Try and chase after Flying Chrome at the moment. Sweeney and Panda still having a fight. Panda still has that 6th place, but they're both struggling a bit here. They're both sliding about a bit at the moment. There's only 8 minutes left of this race. Oh, Panda's actually just tapped the barrier there. It's not affected his position of that. It was more of a love tap than a full-on swipe, luckily for him, so no issues, and keeps the place. Keep an eye as Pagani's close right up to the back of Flying Chrome. It looks like Blue Flag's actually, to be honest, extending his gap a little bit, so it's been a very good 2 races by Blue Flag, other than the fuel incident obviously, as Flying Chrome has a little bit of a slide at that corner which has allowed Pagani to close up to the back of them, and now they're going down the main straight. They should be able to possibly make a bit of a move, maybe down into the inside of turn 1. He's gaining, he's quite quickly gaining. He's going to take the trying to look up a gap, and Flying Chrome just kind of shuts him out in that gap there. Pagani goes down the inside. Oh, Flying Chrome has just tapped the inside of Pagani. Pagani's tried to go for a move. Oh, a little bit of handbags going on here at the moment. Pagani has got P2 I think, but Flying Chrome is trying to come back at him. Trying to maybe just switch back there, but doesn't quite get it off. That's still allowed SBY and Simo to catch up to the back of them. Action absolutely everywhere at the moment. Great race for action. That's allowed Blue Flag has now got over a 10-second gap. I don't imagine Blue Flag would have imagined they would have a 10.4 second gap at the lead of the race. 6 minutes to go. Definitely imagine he'd be taking that. Pagani is just in front of Flying Chrome. Panda's still in front of Sweeney at the moment, just at the back of this quartet. Oh, Flying Chrome is... oh, he's just tapped the... oh, Flying Chrome's off. Oh. Had a bit of a moment there into that corner, and he kind of corrected it, but it kind of created more issues. So Flying Chrome is down into P5, and because of all this battling, Panda and Sweeney are beginning to catch this battle at the moment. Technically it's kind of P2, P3 probably. I think Pagani's kind of beginning to get away from Simo. The gap up front is 1.1 seconds from Blue Flag to Pagani. Simo is still in P3, but there's... oh, Flying Chrome's just had another moment there. It's not been the best few laps of Flying Chrome. He's just been overtook by Panda. So Panda, after starting near the front of the grid to moved back through the pack, has now made his way back up. Flying Foam's just been overtook by Sweeney, so I think Flying Foam is he calling it a day? I think it's up to Flying Foam. I don't know what's happening with Flying Foam. I don't think he's calling it a day, but he's having some issues at the moment. He's down to P. I don't know if he's calling it a day after that. Hopefully not. Panda's in P5. Oh, just as I said, that Panda just has what might be one of the biggest wobbles I've seen on GT Sports so far. I mean, if he's kind of the opposite of comfortable at the moment, Panda. I mean, he is in a decent position at the moment in P5, but he seems to be having a lot of issues. Sitting into the pit lane. I don't know if he thought he couldn't get to the end on his fuel. I think Pagani's going to struggle to get to the end of his fuel, to be honest. He's fast running out of fuel at the moment. SBY is just behind him, and then Panda's not far. SBY and Panda might be in a very good position here. If Pagani runs out of fuel. So Panda's now up to P4. Just a good race from him. Blue Fly's got a 10.6 second gap, and hopefully he's got enough fuel. I would hate to see him run out of fuel 2 races in a row, particularly after he's been so dominant for this race. Sweeney and Panda having a little bit of a battle in the background. I think Sweeney's going to get a move done on Panda down the main straight here, if he keeps it clean through the last corner here, which he does do. Actually gets I'd say a better exit actually than Panda, so he's 3 attempts away, which I'd imagine would be enough. Just as I said, I think SPY is having a go at Pagani, so we're going to have to try and watch 2 battles at the same time here. I think both of these have actually managed to maintain their position. A bit surprised that. Pagani's got a similar issue to Blue Flag at this point in time, as he's going to get to the end of this lap, and he's going to have to start a new lap, and he's not got enough fuel for 2 laps. I would say that he's going to have to try and manage it as best as possible. As Panda's beginning to close massively up to the back of SBY at this point in time as well, with Sweeney just behind him. This has been a race-long battle between Sweeney and Panda, as SBY overtakes Pagani. Pagani's... oh, what's happened? Oh, fuck. Pagani's touched Panda. I don't know what is going on. I don't even know. I don't even know what's happening. Right, SPY's got a penalty. Somehow Panda's now up to a net P2. He was P6 about 2 laps ago. I don't know what's going on. Pagani's now in P5. I don't know if he's just... I think Pagani's... I don't know what Pagani's doing actually. I think it's Pagani I think Pagani's going to try and slow down as much as possible to try and the Pagani's have to try and complete this last lap now with no fuel. Oh, Panda's... oh god. Panda's just ran very wide out of that corner. So this is the battle for the remaining podium position now between SBY, Panda and... oh! As Sweeney has just hit into the back of Panda there. I think Sweeney outbroke himself slightly there and went into the back of Panda. Sweeney's trying to make a move down the outside of Panda into that corner, but I think Panda's too far ahead of him. Panda's tyres are not in the particularly pleasant shape at the moment. Simo has caught rapidly up to the back of this as blue flag comes out of final corner to take a very dominant victory here in the second race of the evening. He's timed it perfectly this time and he's just enough fuel. Great race from blue flag. He'll be very, very, very pleased with that. Managed it perfectly. Sweeney's managed to get past Panda on the rundown. So Sweeney, XPY crosses P2. Sweeney manages to overtake Simo and Panda for P3. Simo is P4. Panda gets P5. Pagani drops down to P6. Joho Finn was P7. And round out the top 10 in a few seconds. So P8 was, not even sure. Well, that was probably one of the most chaotic races I think we've seen probably so far from me doing commentary for 4 races. Very chaotic race, but fascinating to watch. So that has been GT Sport for this evening. Next week we have Goodwood and the Nürburgring from Germany. So 2 tracks most people will be quite familiar with. So hopefully I will see some of you next week for that. So thank you for joining me this evening and have a nice evening, and hopefully I'll see you next week.